Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, hi Maggie, hi Moonlight, hi Chris. Yeah, we still have the Jacob and Antonio. I can't hear anything.
Yeah,
Got it. Should we wait?
Yeah, oh my god, I can't hear you guys.
Hello.
Oh my goodness,
Hello.
I can hear everyone though.
I can see you are saying something, but I can't hear you. I think it's my.
No worries, or oh my goodness, yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Moonlight.
Oh my goodness, yes, that's awesome. Yeah, well, one trick is that you can bring another device in the audience to listen and then use this one to speak. So, but anyways, yeah, I see
I
that we
think
have
all the speakers are here, but I can't hear you. It's okay if you can hear anybody or themselves, so you can start the Twitter space, I think.
Great. Yes, I can hear everyone. And yeah, even though I try to yell, right, but it's connection issues. So even though I'm yelling, I probably believe that you can still not hear us. But anyways, welcome everyone to our Zypher space. And we have this space event every week. It's so exciting. Today we are celebrating Bitcoin tops 100,000 finally. And the new cycle begins. Of course, we're going to make ZK great again. And over here, we have our amazing builders from Zypher, Maggie. We also have Anthony from Polyhedra, and we have Asbek from Zerbase, and Jacob from Risk Zero, and Chris from Zero Computing. Welcome, everyone. We would like to starting from inviting to our speakers to introduce yourself. Let's invite Maggie, Lucille at Zypher Network, to introduce yourself and the project to our audience. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Moonlight, and also Amber, who is actually hosting the space right now. And Amber is our CMO. She's been putting a lot of effort into, setting up this Twitter space. So big shout out to Amber and all of the guests here. And all those projects are our very close partners. We've been partnering with some of the projects for about a year now, and so far everything has been really well. So my name is Maggie. I am the CEO of Cypher, and we are a verifiable data protocol for decentralized games that is secured by our decentralized prover network and also incentivized by merged mining. So as a gamer, all of your game data will be submitted to our prover network, and then some server will generate a ZK proof for you that gets verified either in our EigenLayer AVS or directly on chain in our verification contract. And the benefit for that is that all of our game assets is fully verifiable, and the gameplay is completely fair, and you can verify that on chain. And the most important thing is that the gameplay is completely programmable, and that opens the door to, for example, AI agents in the game, or like user-generated content. Like as a user, you can even modify the gameplay because there's no centralized server in the game that we support, and everything is purely ZK proof based and also smart contract based. And right now we are working extensively with about 30 to 50 game studios, and we have around 30 games that are live on the mainnet. I'm very excited to be here to speak with some of our best partners and also the best builders in the space, and really appreciate everyone's time in this amazing, is like Saturday morning with me. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Maggie, and happy Saturday. Wow, builders never having weekend breaks, right? That's just super. And next, we would like to invite Anthony from Polyhedra to introduce yourself and your project as welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. Really excited to be here. I hope you can all hear me properly. I have had a few little technical difficulties here. But yeah, hey, everybody. I am the engagement at Polyhedra Network. I absolutely, and yeah, let's share the future here are the boundaries of blockchain and intelligence with zero knowledge proofs. So we believe in a world where privacy, security, and efficiency are non-negotiables, and that's why we've built our ZK Bridge. You can think about ZK Bridge as the Rosetta Stone for blockchains, helping them to communicate seamlessly. We have our newly launched EXP chain. This is a playground for verifiable and ethical AI development. So where AI and blockchain are ubiquitous, and of course ensuring that the future of intelligence is inclusive. And Expander, which is speeding up ZK proofs exponentially. So they're not just secure, but also incredibly fast. It's the fastest ZK proof system to date. But of course, beyond the tech, we're all about building a community where everyone has a voice, rewarding participation, and making sure that our ecosystem thrives with everyone's input. And of course, we love our great ecosystem and our partners. So thanks for having me, and I'm really excited for this space.
Amazing, Anthony. Thank you so much for the intro, and that definitely match today's momentum, right? Let's make ZK great again. And next, we would like to invite Asibek. I believe, I'm not sure if you are in the speaker section over here because I could see that you're in the audience, but let's invite you over here and introduce the project as Zero Base. Thank you. Let me double check the connections over here. Hello, Asibek, can you hear us? If not, that's okay. We would like to go over to Jacob from Risk Zero to introduce yourself and your project as. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on tonight. I'm Jacob. I'm the product lead for Boundless, which is the protocol that Risk Zero is building. It's really meant to be this protocol. We built the ZKVM, and it's sort of omnipresent and everywhere. We're working with projects across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cosmos, and other chains. And we're trying to build a protocol that brings critical ZK infrastructure to these chains as well. So a couple things we're building is a proof market. With that will come a network of provers watching this market. Also, aggregation and verification solutions. Ideally, with the ZKVM, we had this like really cool innovation where you write Rust and you then generate ZKPs. But with Boundless, we want people to show up, write Rust, and have production-ready ZK applications.
Nice. Thank you so much, Jacob, for the intro. And everyone, well, it's a friendly reminder. Feel free to bring your project's official handle to our stage as well, because we wanted to ask our audience to follow all of them. And next, we would like to invite Chris, the CEO at Zero Computing, to introduce yourself and your project. Thank you.
Hey guys, super happy to be here, and thanks Maggie and Zypher for organizing this. Yeah, so at Zero Computing, we are a specialized ZK prover. We launched about a year ago with the intention on providing the compute for teams like RISC-0 and other teams who are hosting these prover networks. And our role is essentially a prover that plugs into those proving marketplaces or prover networks. So when you make a request as a demand side application or some sort of ZK consumer, will be hopefully being matched with many of you. And recently, we've also been doing some interesting work on Solana. The idea being Solana is this kind of young and nascent space for ZK adoption. There was just a precompile or an equivalent to a precompile, a syscall that was implemented in Solana over the summer, and now ZK proofs are feasible. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities to recreate a lot of the magic that we're seeing over in Ethereum on Solana. So we're taking a look at how we can build ZK plumbing infrastructure there with lovely team at Anagram.
Thank you so much, Chris, for the intro. Yes, I believe we are going to learn a lot about ZK ecosystem today. And thank you, Leaders, joining us. And let me circle back to Asibek from Zero Base to see if you could hear us. Thank you.
Hello. Yep. Thank you very much. I can hear you well. That was a technical issue just now. Sorry about it. Well, yep. Asibek here. I'm the developer from Zero Base, and thanks for the invite. Happy to be here. Zero Base is a real-time prover network. So we are building up a decentralized network for any projects to come in, plug in, and generate the proofs in a real time. And we are especially focusing on giving a very fast proving time for the clients, because especially in the very user-based projects, UX, especially being fast is really important. And as we know, being in the ZK space, it requires a lot of computation. It can be a bit slow, so we'll try to overhead that, and we'll try to give the users a really fast decentralized network to generate their proofs. So I think that would wrap up Zero Base.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the intro. And I see that we have a new account, Crypto Rumble, joining us on the stage. Welcome, friend. And if you have questions to ask, we could save some time for you later as well. The next question, we're going to go to some ZK 101, right? Because we know, we would like to ask of our speakers if you could share some simplified explanation of ZK or highlight some of the key features within your project, because we understand that we have so many different projects over here utilizing ZK's technology in various use cases, right? So if you could share some examples for us, that would be great. And we would like to invite Maggie, the Zypher CEO, first to share the information with us. Thank you.
I'm very happy to go fast because I'll do the ELI5 because I'm on the non-technical side, but I believe the other expert will give you guys like more technical, deeper insights into what ZK is. So on a very high level, I think all of the decentralized applications is going to be provable in some ways or in some part. And ZK is the technology that enables DApp developers to build a decentralized applications that work as good as centralized ones. because it is using off-chain execution and on-chain verification. So it enables some of the very expensive, for example, state transitions in the games, as we have enabled that to be happen off-chain, but still, when we verify them on-chain, all the asset-related or data-related aspect is still decentralized and verifiable. So I would say ZK is magic. Yeah, just use that. ZK is magic. And to be more specifically, I think there is a definition that ZK enables, for example, me to prove something, to prove that I know something without revealing the details or telling you the details of the thing that I know. So I think there's a very good analogy of where is Wally, which is, analogy that I read a long time ago. I will post the medium later under this Twitter space on Twitter. So there is a Risk Zero intern Twitter account, and this account actually exists. So in this account, the profile picture is Wally, which is a guy, and on his background, profile background, there is a picture of maybe 1,000 people on the beach. And for example, Amber wants to prove me that she knows where Wally is, but she doesn't want to tell me where Wally is, as like she's pointing where Wally is in the picture. So she can probably take a piece of paper which is really big and only make a hole there that only Wally can fit in there. So she can show me that she can put the piece of paper on top of that that picture with 1,000 people, and she can hide everything else and only reveal Wally to me. So in this way, I think it shows that I think the analogy here is that you can reveal that you know the information without revealing the details of the information. Yeah, and that's it. So ZK is magic. That's it. That's ELI 5.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Maggie, for letting us know about that. ZK is magic. Wow. Can't wait to see more about that. And next, we'll like
Sorry.
Yes.
Apologies. So our CMO, Amber, she wants me to mention that Crypto Rumble is a verifiable game that is written in Groq 16 that we are releasing very soon. So we're just putting here for more engagement. Yeah, engagement farming. And thank you, everyone.
Cool. Let's give it a follow. Okay. Yes, this is a brand new account. Was just born probably 16 hours ago, right? So cute. Oh my goodness. Everyone, let's give Crypto Rumble a follow. And next, we would like to bring microphone to Anthony Lee, head of engagement from Polyhedra, to share what's unique about ZK and your project. And if you could share some use cases with us, that'd be great. Thank you. Oh, it seems like I did not see Anthony on the stage. I'm sorry. We are going to bring you up again. And we would like to bring this same question to Asbek, lead dev relationship from Zero Base. Thank you.
Yep. Well, Maggie explained just now about what ZK is in a high level. I think that's really good enough. Good explanation. I can give a bit explanation as well. So zero knowledge proof, as you said, like proving without actually showing actual data that you prove that you have it. And I can give another analogy. It will be more practical ways. For example, public key cryptography, which is having our private keys and public keys on a wallet side, is also technically a zero knowledge proof, because that can be a consideration of like you are proving you are the owner of the private key. You are the rightful owner of the private key but without showing the private key. You can say, hey, I am the owner of this private key. I signed this transaction. And people actually can believe that, okay, this guy is the owner of the private key, but you don't show the private key. That's kind of a good analogy of the zero knowledge, because that can be also considered a zero knowledge proof because you're not showing it. But that's not exactly how we are doing it right now in this space. And one of the examples I can give from the Zero Base side, we are working on the frameworks. One of our frameworks can be easier is ZK login. So you will be able to authenticate yourself in the login process for the projects. For example, with the social logins, you'll be able to hide your sensitive information. For example, if you're logging in with Google account, you can hide your email, you can hide your avatar picture, you can hide the data that it is open for everyone in the process, and you will be able to log into the project without actually providing those information. I think that's a simple explanation of that. And I think using a ZK for many real life cases is absolutely an incredible project. Like that's that magic, as Maggie said just now, because you will be able to have a trustless applications that you don't really have to trust that people are this project is good, but you'll be able to trust, like, hey, the cryptography is good, even though these people may have malicious actions, but they are actually not able to execute that. So yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Asabek. And our Amy says that she can only hear your voice today. So yeah, she's going to have a complete session, right, regarding Zero Base 101. Awesome. And I see that Anthony is joining us again. Hello, Anthony. Would you like to also share some use cases regarding Polyhedra in the ZK ecosystem? Thank you. That's okay. We are going to circle back to you later again, and we're going to present the same question to Jacob, the product lead for Bundleless from Zero. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it would be good to touch on Maggie and Asavek touched on the zero knowledge property, but I think a really prominent property right now is the succinctness property of zero knowledge. You know, in a blockchain setting, we're sort of constricted to these really, really small execution limits. Why is that? We ask every node to re-execute the same transaction and then compare results, and this just provides a lot of overhead. So you have, you know, the 30 million gas limit on Ethereum, and you have some newer and cool projects like Monad, or, you know, existing ones like Solana that provide more execution. But it's still just not really what we're used to in normal compute environments. So with zero knowledge, essentially someone can generate the proof by themselves. And then we just have this very succinct receipt that everyone else can verify that that computation was done correctly, and then absorb the result. And verifying that proof is, you know, incredibly succinct. It takes a couple of microseconds on really consumer devices. So, you know, now you can have people with just, you know, a lot of compute. They can use all of it, and then everyone else can benefit. We're seeing, you know, sort of like we're talking about Boundless, is we're sort of like launching everyone into this era of abundance compute, and we're already seeing some applications take a hold of that. We had a customer recently, they submitted a proof to our currently proving infrastructure, and the size of that proof was like doing half of Ethereum execution in one day. We sort of have this internal memo on, you know, the more compute we give people, the, you know, they're just going to continue to use all of it. So it's really exciting. We've done internal testing, a private testnet with Balance recently, and in there it was rollups, bridges, you know, some new DeFi lending protocols, bridge, cross-chain LPs, gaming, and another, you know, group of really cool, innovative use cases as well.
Thank you so much, Jacob, for the information sharing with us. And I see Bundleless official handle is in the audience. Feel free to bring up to the stage as well. Welcome everyone to follow our speakers and their projects. And next we're going to go to Chris Lee Seal from Zero Computing. Could you please, well, we know that everyone already talked about the explanation of ZK, right? So if you like to highlight some of its key features in your project, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, I would really double tap into Jacob's point of this is a synchronous property. And that's really how we think about ZK at Zero Computing, which is, we're trying to bring the world's largest data centers to blockchains now that we can actually take EVM-based applications and run them on servers that don't need to participate in all of the essentially validation and execution or consensus. We can just offload all of that application logic into these large data centers, run them there, and then post back proofs on chain. So yeah, that's something that we're really excited about. Another, I guess, utility or application of ZK proofs, we've gone over the privacy, we've gone over the succinctness or off-chain computation or boundless computation, as I'm sure Zero likes to call it. But another awesome utility is kind of changing the whole MEV landscape, and that's something that we are really taking a look at, which is that in a world where you no longer have a network of validators, each independently validating blocks or computation, as Jacob mentioned, and instead you have just a single prover who's generating a proof, and then you have a network of verifiers. How does that change the kind of value accrual to what we've largely seen as like centralizing effects in MEV, something that's resulted in the current configuration of proposer builder separation in Ethereum, and trying to think through how we can start to redistribute more and more of MEV across prover networks, and also, I guess in combination with this whole privacy application of ZK, you can also now start to get some like dark pools where you actually don't leak transaction information. But that's a really interesting area as well that I think have like kind of like secondary implications on users and applications that will impact their like the slippage fees they get, the transaction fees they have to pay, and whether their transactions actually get executed or if they get front run or back run, etc.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris, for all the details shared with us regarding ZK in your project. And we would like to circle back to Anthony again from Polyhedra. Can you hear us, or unmute yourself and share information regarding your project and some special features or use cases? Thank you. If not, that's okay. I see that, wow, we keep receiving a lot of all-time high notifications from our phones, right? So we're so exciting, and to celebrate Bitcoin already tops 100,000 and also the new all-time high. But we also like to talk about some criticism, right? Especially in the ZK's infrastructure, like technology updates. So we would like to check with our builders over here if you could share some, disadvantages, right, or some technical updates, like real use cases, etc., regarding ZK's infrastructure. That would be great. We would like to first invite Maggie, our CEO at Zephyr Network, to share your viewpoints. Thank you.
Thank you, Moonlight. Yeah, so actually, I think it depends on how like someone defines real world use cases. So for me, like, what is a real use case? There's an analogy that people often use, like, am I using crypto, or what crypto I'm using, what chain I'm using to buy someone a coffee? So if someone's going to buy me a coffee, I would really don't want that to be corresponding transaction directly on chain, because everyone will see that this is my account and someone's buying me a coffee. So I think like real use cases cannot happen without ZK or other type of cryptography, like programmable cryptography that has some privacy primitives. So actually, I think ZK VMs, for example, or like other type of like ZK solutions is actually a prerequisite for the real use case. But I can understand why some people have this like sort of like complaint. I feel like it's more come from a token perspective. There's like a lot of really good ZK projects that have been hands-on building in the space for maybe 1 to 2 years that don't have a token yet. So I feel like the complaint actually comes from, this aspect. But beyond that, actually, I have a contrary opinion that ZK is actually bigger than blockchain, because like basically the off-chain execution part, or turning some data into a ZK proof. For example, that's my like very very high level of RISC-0 ZK VM. Like you can write a Rust code, and they will compile that into a ZK proof. So for that, you don't have to use that on-chain. Although like on-chain verification is a really big use cases, I believe there's a lot of other use cases for that part. Yeah, so yeah, that's like my very quick opinion on this.
Nice. Thank you so much, Maggie. Yeah, using your own personal opinion, right? That would be great so people could understand more about it. And we also like to hear from Anthony, head of engagement from Polyhedra, to learn about how would you respond to the criticism that ZK's infrastructure and tailor updates, like practical use cases. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Sorry again for the technical difficulties here. I think X Spaces can be quite fickle sometimes. I really hope you guys can all hear me well. So yeah, in terms of criticisms, obviously there's the castles in the sky analogy. I'd very much say ZK is, in my opinion, more going to be the cornerstone of secure structures in the future. Obviously the point was just made outside of blockchain as well. The utility of these cryptographic methods are obviously very broad scope. And I think that the criticism of ZK, it definitely often misses the point that we're in the infrastructure phase right now. Again, apologies, I did tap out of the conversation for a little bit, so I'm sure this has already been touched on, but it's very much like, criticizing the internet for not having streaming services, say back in the 90s. We're very much laying the groundwork here right now. It's akin to building the foundation of a skyscraper, right? You don't see it necessarily, but without it, the building's not going to stand. So sure, we're still out here building the highways, but the cars are already on the road, man. We've got real world examples. ZK rollups on Ethereum that are lowering costs and speeding things up, ZK Cash, whole bunch of stuff that's already going on. But I think future potential and adoption is just so bright. I for one, I'm looking forward to a world where my data, it's not just protected, but I can prove things without showing my cards. Or imagine where AI is making decisions verified by ZK. Your health records are kept confidential in machine learning environments, or your financial moves are kept private in DeFi. So we're very much at a tipping point, I believe. I think it's easy to see we're shifting from niche to necessity here. And as we move forward, the conversation is very much changing from why use ZK to why not ZK. For privacy, security, and integrity in digital interactions, I think it's an absolute necessity.
Nice. Thank you so much, Anthony. You're definitely an expert, right? And in terms of what some of the ZK's practical use cases that people do not know about. Thank you for sharing. And next, we would like to invite Aspect from Zero Base, the relations, to also share your viewpoints in terms of how would you respond to people's opinion if they think like ZK's infrastructure and technology updates, like practical use cases. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the question. Well, we should take into consideration that we are in a very niche space as well. Like the ZK, I think, also became quite of a buzzword lately. Like everyone has been like ZK this, ZK that, ZK that, and that definitely resonates. Kind of a big, how do I say, big marketing. Oh, everyone is doing ZK, everyone is doing ZK, and people can see like, wait, how can I see that? But probably that's why that's the effect of some kind of guerrilla marketing as well, I guess. But I would say ZK has been there for a while, and especially the ZK rollups. ZK rollups on the EVM scalability part, they've played their fair share, and they are doing really great job in terms of that, to be honest. And this is one of the really successful use cases that's been actually used and all. And besides that, right now we have, as Andincha said, we are laying out the foundation right now. And right now, Strict Zero is building up as a VM. We are building up a proven network, and everyone is building the foundational parts. And I would say this is a real life application. The people are adding ZK to their daily use like DeFi project, for example, ZK Dark Pools. That's a real life use case. ZK login, for example, from our perspective, I can say that's a real life use case. It's more of a criticism can be maybe because they don't directly interact with it, or maybe it's really well integrated that they don't really know it's a ZK. But that doesn't mean that ZK is not being used in the real life use case. If we can make an analogy, like people don't really, I'm not sure if they know like RSA or any other different protocols in the internet has been used, and they don't come in like, hey, it's not being used in real life use cases, but it is. So I would say ZK is also quite similar case here.
Thank you so much, Spec, for sharing your views with us. Yes, we definitely would like to hear from all of our developers or our builders from the ZK ecosystem, right? Because you will know the best. And next, we're going to bring the same question to Jacob, the product lead for Bundleless from ReZero, to share your views as well. Thank you.
Yeah. ZK's been chatted about in the space since, like quite a long time, 2016, 2017. And ReZero is like super grateful to be just like standing on the shoulders of giants and the work. Like for one, like whoever, like all the researchers that contributed to the RISC-V ISA that were built on, Starknet comes to mind, originally talking about a ZKVM, precompiles, and most importantly, Starks. However, we are like really entering a different era for ZK. In a general purpose, ZK environment today, we can prove transactions cheaper than any blockchain under load. With that, traditionally to use ZK, you had to have a PhD in cryptography. The example I normally give is, most of us can write the game of chess in a high-level language, but to write circuits, you need to write programs represented as polynomials in a very niche language, and this is just incredibly difficult, and requires a PhD in cryptography. But that's no more. You now can get performant ZK in a high-level language using something like the RISC-0 ZKVM or other ZKVMs out there, at a fraction of the cost of on-chain compute, and you just have much more of it. So I really think we are like turning a corner for the best. I'm seeing internal adoption numbers, and it's just like a complete hockey stick right now, which is really cool. And we're already seeing like really, really, nice applications come out. One that, is in testnet right now that, I would recommend going check out is a project called Hashflow. Hashflow is sort of this new, use case that we're sort of calling centralized but verified services. So they're an exchange. You can go escrow to the exchange right now. But every single transaction they do is verified. So you can't have, a scenario like FTX happen to where, they're like kind of back channeling all your funds away. They can't do anything to it till they post a proof that they've done something verifiable and that you can trust that they actually did. And with that, they're able to do it at a really low cost and at incredibly high throughput. So on their exchange currently, they can do over 1,000 transactions per second and remain economically viable.
Wow, thank you so much, Jacob, for letting us, learning something new every day. Thank you. And next, we will also like to invite our Chris from Zero Computing, yeah, CEO of Zero Computing, share your viewpoints. Can you share some practical use cases in the ZK's infrastructure or ZK technology? Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely ZK has been around for a while, and again, standing on the shoulders of giants. There's been so many teams who have built, from the ground up, the infrastructure to now go and think about applications at a relatively high level, as Jacob was talking about. Before you had to think about writing any application in a low level kind of like assembly type programming language. Now we can reason about things at a Rust level, which just gives a lot more people access to and the ability to build these applications. Yeah, and as far as applications go, it seems like the best product market fit ZK has found thus far has been in ZK rollups, which are a fantastic use case and continue to grow significantly. You even have teams like Optimism, Arbitrum, two of the largest optimistic rollups in the Ethereum space, both announced plans a while ago that they will be transitioning over to ZK, and now I believe both RISC-0 has
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, wait a second. I just put a Twitter and we can wait more people to join us. Hi, Moonlight, can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you. Okay. Why?
No, I think she's not promoted as speaker yet from what I see.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Awesome.
okay.
Yes, welcome back. And everyone, please help us to reshare the link. Thank you so much. I'm also sharing this to my communities again because we want everyone to hear, from the beginning to the end, all about ZK to make ZK great again. And where were we? I remember, we were kind of like in the middle of our speaker sharing. Was that Chris? Yeah, talking about.
That was me. That's right. Yeah, I was just saying that ZK is going beyond just the application of rollups and there's been a lot of great examples from across DeFi and AI gaming. But yeah, I would just encourage people to remember that, coming back to Asselbeck's point, whatever we see in the media is kind of an exaggeration of what's going on. ZK has been around for a very long time. It continues to make steady improvements, and it will only continue to get better.
Amazing. Thank you so much, for sharing that. And we also do have our, Twitter or X, right? Elon Musk can make our X Spaces more stable, right? Thank you, Chris, for sharing your viewpoint with us. And we are going to go to our next discussion topic. We would like to bring the question to Zypher, our CEO Maggie. And we wanted to focus on, because Zypher is a game engine, right? And we also see, where's our cute Crypto Rumble account? Let's bring it up over here. Yeah, and could you please elaborate on why ZK is being used for gaming development and how the ZK mining network operates within its context. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Moonlight. I'll go ELI5 again. So at the very beginning of this project, about 2 years ago, we were kind of really attracted by the vision of autonomous world, meaning that this is like a fully automated game. Like any AI agent can, play in the game. Any NPC can be an AI agent, and more importantly, everything in the game can be some sort of asset on chain, whether in the format of 721 or ERC20 or like 1155 or other format. And back then, the most prevalent way to build an autonomous world, or some people will think autonomous world as an interchangeable with the word fully on-chain games. So basically, a fully on-chain game is a game that puts everything in smart contracts. It puts all the game logic and the game assets and the game data storage on chain. But very obviously, a game built purely in smart contract isn't going to be good in performance, because you have so many state transitions and there's so many transactions. Even with AA wallet, the game can still have hiccups whenever one of the transactions doesn't go through. And later, we figured out that what we actually want is for the game assets or gameplay to be verifiable instead of, putting them purely in the smart contract. So being on-chain is kind of a method that we should use instead of the only purpose or the goal that we should have. The goal is to still to make sure that we have a verifiable and truly decentralized games. And in order to build a game like that, we turned to ZK. And in order to build a game in ZK, like you have to build a gameplay with ZK. That is how you actually get the result of like whenever there's some game data generated, it can be, sent to the prover network and then submitted on chain as a ZK proof. So that's kind of a high level reason why we are using ZK. And at the moment, like leveraging ZK's two primitives, for the privacy primitive, we have our like Shuffle SDK and have a few fully on-chain, for example, poker and trading card game that actually records each of the move or each of the card that the user play as a transaction, and using ZK to do shuffle, like hiding the card information from opponent gamers. And also we leverage the succinctness primitive of ZK. For example, like Crypto Rumble, the game here, it was like a Binance hackathon winner game, and we've been working on this game for about a year. So in this game, it's basically ZK version or verifiable version of the classic Candy Crush game. It has about 50 levels, and in each of the level, like you probably make around 300 moves in the game. And for those moves, we don't submit each of the move on chain as a transaction, but bundle them and aggregate maybe like 100 moves as a ZK proof, and then verify the 100 moves just using the ZK proof. So for each of the game, there's probably only 3 transactions or even 1 transaction if we bundle them together. So in this way, we make sure that Crypto Rumble is a verifiable game, that there's no centralized server, it's completely decentralized. But at the same time, like you don't always need to make transactions or interactions with the game, because at the very beginning, we also figured out, like for gamers, if you want to build the next STEPN, if you want to build the next Axie, those are the very successful games that I personally consider. Like users probably care more about whether they have financialization benefits. Like the majority of GameFi users today are actually still in the SEA area and like Russian area, and they care about if they can make money or get the airdrop from the games. And I personally think gaming is a really good way to, bring like mass adoption for a certain technology. If not, the technology was originally originated or designed for the game itself. So we have had, for example, Crypto Rumble have had a playtest that has attracted about 300,000 gamers when Taiko was launching its final testnet stage. And this game only was counting up to 40 to 50% of all the transactions on Taiko's testnet. So I think gaming is a really good way to, for example, bring ZK to the mass users without them realizing it. Like Crypto Rumble generated over 10 million ZK proofs during the gameplay, which is crazy compared to just in terms of the number of the ZK proofs that I could generate. Yes, thank you very much, Moonlight.
Wow, thank you for letting us know about that. And this is certainly really cool. Everyone, I encourage everyone to give Crypto Rumble a follow. It's a brand new account, but it's a very amazing gaming project that everyone should give a try. And once again, thank you, Maggie, for sharing everything about it. I also would like to know about each of our speakers' project for the next 3 months and what exciting events or milestones can we look forward to shortly. So, well, how about let's continue, circle back to Maggie again to talk about what's next for Cypher. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for everyone's time. I'll go real fast. So we have this layer 3 that we are launching together with Linea as a layer 3 on top of Linea. And for this layer 3 game chain, we have built a few modules from native AA wallet and gasless SBTs, so the users don't need to pay for any fees when they play the game. Like we find out that this is something that users or developers really care about, even if it is, it is not ZK related. And also we have a few embedded, like pre-compiled contracts in the chain itself. For example, like we are using a few other EC powerings from different from the BN254 that is natively supported in the EVM. This is just to make sure that when we run the ZK stuff that we need in the games, it is verified very fast and with no cost. So I think those are still two of the concerns that players will have when they play the game. So we're going to launch this chain. It is already live on the mainnet in the pre-mainnet stage, and we've been deploying some games and inviting like some of the early testers for the chain. So we're going to still coordinating with the 30 games that plan to deploy on the chain. So some of the games are using like RISC-Zero's ZKVM to write their circuit, and there's also games that is using our handwritten circuit. But anyways, I am super bullish on the chain with 30 gamers. We're going to have a series of campaigns launched together with Linea. And also Crypto Rumble is a game that we have been working on for about a year with the studio. And we're putting a lot of resources, and there will be playtest and a series of different campaigns around Crypto Rumble for, like any users. Like there's really no criteria.
Nice. Thank you so much, Maggie. And we're definitely super bullish about Cypher's upcoming events in the next 3 months. And following that, we would like to invite Anthony, the head of engagement from Polyhedra, to also share what's next for Polyhedra. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Moonlight. I agree. A bit of a shout out to Elon. Let's make X Spaces a bit greater. Obviously, maybe if it was a little bit more decentralized, we wouldn't have had any issues. So yeah, super, super exciting. Everything going on over at Polyhedra. We've just undergone a huge, huge rebrand. This is aligning with the launch of EXP Chain, which is our layer 1. So we're very much looking, on Monday, we'll be launching the testnet. So everybody here, you're actually early on this. In the next 3 months, we're very much focusing on expanding EXP Chain's testnet for AI developers. We really want to see AI that's not just smart and intelligent, but also verifiable and private and ethical. We will be enhancing our ZK bridge to make Bitcoin and other assets as versatile as possible across different blockchains. And of course, we're always working in the background on making Expander even quicker, because, who doesn't want faster, more secure blockchain operations, right? And the team obviously are world-class, world leaders in this space. And every day they're just making huge, huge gains and milestones. So very, very exciting. Obviously a sneak peek at EXP Chain's mainnet, give everybody a bit of a taste of what's coming there. a bunch of new partnerships, just so many partnerships and people coming into our ecosystem, blending our tech with AI and finance and really a bunch of different future applications in ways that will honestly knock your socks off. It's pretty mind blowing, some of the projects going on in this space. And of course, from where I'm sitting personally, you know, workshops and education are absolutely fundamental for the future. So we want to make ZK as accessible as possible because we want everyone to be a part of this evolution. And you know, in terms of the future, you know, I think it feels very much to me like we're standing at the frontier or the dawn of something again. I'm very bullish on this. So you know, in terms of AI governance, where ZK is ensuring transparency and without any privacy breaches, you know, and the stakes are extremely high there, guys. Like, you know, AI is becoming more and more prominent in not only our personal everyday decision making, but also institutionally. So think in terms of health or finance, we really want to make sure that it's all rolled out with integrity. And obviously just so many applications. Really exciting to see the next 3 months and into 2025 is going to be very exciting for all of us. And yeah, it's looking like very, very much like a blue horizon.
Nice. Thank you so much, Anthony, for the updates. Actually, earlier this morning, well, New York time zone, I just received a documentation about the EXP chain, right? So everyone, if you are curious about what that is, be sure to go to Polyhedra Network document and learn about that. It's about ZK zero knowledge machine learning, expand proof system, and yeah, proof of stake, ZK PyTorch, and ZK native blockchain infrastructure. Lots of new things. Very exciting about that. Thank you, Anthony, for sharing the upcoming events for Polyhedra as well. Next, we are going to bring the microphone to Asilbek over here, lead relations from Zero Base, to share some updates for the next 3 months. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the microphone again. I'm excited to share about our next quarter news, I guess, that next 3 months. Well, we're right now, in terms of developer side, I can say working on the research that we've been doing, and we're trying to implement those research, like building up a commercially available circuits and frameworks for the developers to easily plug and play for specific use cases. For example, right now I can say we have a ZK login for EVM. So any developer or any small project, technically anyone who would like to implement ZK login features and generate a proof from that, they'll be able to connect and generate it from the Zero Base, from the proof generation network. And such kind of frameworks, more and more, will be available in the future. That's we are working on in terms of technological development side. And besides, we are partnering up with many other bigger chains for helping them to integrate the ZK more easily, making ZK faster, making ZK more accessible, making ZK more affordable as well. And in terms of community side, well, I would like to say just keep an eye on Zero Base social media, and there will be quite quick, really nice, good updates soon. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Sure. Thank you so much, Isabel. And everyone, be sure to give all of our speakers and their project a follow so you won't miss important updates. And over here, we would like to bring microphone to Jacob, the product lead for Bundleless from RiskZero, to talk about what's next for the following 3 months. Any exciting events or milestones that we can looking forward to. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You know, we sort of have like 2 tracks currently internally with Zero. One is focused on the ZKVM, so continue to be the fastest ZKVM on the market and make it fast as possible. And then the track I'm more involved in is Boundless, the protocol. We're actually entering testnet incredibly soon. If you want to stay up, follow the Balance for XYZ Twitter handle. We'll first have a phase with developer access. In this phase, there will be free proving and anyone can come test out the network. And then later on, we'll be introducing, the fully decentralized protocol with our novel incentive mechanism. And that'll be fully public for everyone to come participate. And then we'll be going to mainnet.
Wow, going to mainnet. That is definitely something that we are looking forward to. Thank you, Jacob, for sharing that. And next, we'd like to hear from Chris. Can you share some exciting milestones or updates or any events that our audience can join? Thank you.
So we've been working on a lot of integrations into proving networks. We were fortunate to participate in RISC-Zero's Boundless early testnet and looking forward to being a part of their mainnet launch as well. And so, yeah, I mean, for any other proven networks here as well, we would love to integrate with you guys and provide compute. Simultaneously on the Solana side, we are now ramping up and we have docs live for Bonsal, which is a verifiable compute framework for Solana that essentially allows you to take all of the wonderful ZK infrastructure that's built in Ethereum and use it in a Solana environment. So if you're a Solana DApp or user, you can benefit from ZK too. So I encourage people to look for the docs at bonsal.sh.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris, for letting us know about what's next for Zero Computing. And following that, we would like to talk about the future of the ZK ecosystem, which ZK use case or projects might emerge during this bull market that could surprise and excite everyone. We wanted to first hear the viewpoints from Maggie, our CEO at Cypher Network. Thank you.
Oh, so it's hard to predict. Like predicting is like a very hard thing to do, but I think the future of ZK is here. We have the best ZK VM, like proving network and also proof system projects here, and we are sort of on the co-processing side. So I am personally very bullish on gaming and social. So first of all, like gaming is anti-cyclical. Like even if before Web3, like in Web2, gaming is anti-cyclical and people just really have the need. This is like a hard need to play the games and entertain themselves. And from the past few cycles, we do notice that usually like gaming is kind of being featured as a narrative usually during the second half of the bull market. I guess like maybe because people have been doing so much PvP memes and DeFi and other stuff, and then they got tired and they wanted to have some fun, and then they turn to gaming. So I feel like there might be more attention in gaming later in this bull market, and like maybe it's us, maybe it's other ZK games. I know there's a few other projects that is doing sort of like similar ZK gaming stuff. So like with the hope that people will pay more attention to gaming later. So I think like gaming will be something that probably be spotlight later. And beyond that, like one of the use cases that comes to my mind is kind of a ZK version of Telegram, like maybe private messaging or like verifiable messaging. So yeah, that's it.
Exactly, right? Because gaming entertainment, right? Something that's very easy for a lot of people to start to participate in. So looking forward to like Crypto Rumble is going to make it and that lots of people wanted to join the ZK ecosystem. Thank you, Maggie, for sharing that. And next, we would like to hear the viewpoint from Anthony, Head of Engagement at Polyhedra. Thank you.
Yeah, again, the future is very, very bright. I kind of touched on it before, but again, with our EXP chain, we're using verifiability with zero knowledge machine learning. So we're employing zero knowledge proofs to ensure that AI models and computations can be verified for correctness without exposing any of the data or the model parameters themselves. So this is very, very crucial for trust in AI-driven decisions, particularly in sensitive areas like healthcare or finance or personal data handling, looking to the future, even smart cities. There's just so many applications that this will really be the bedrock. There's obviously a lot of ethical concerns and data concerns around current LLMs and different machine learning models. So this is really an answer to that. And our ZKML framework allows for the validation of AI outputs. So it really ensures that the AI is operating as intended without compromising any sort of privacy concerns. So it's very much at the core of our chain's design. And yeah, obviously performance and scalability at the very, very heart of that too. In terms of other things that are going on in the future, we're always working on things, and we're always having different players come into our ecosystem. But yeah, I think the novel concept, which is proof of intelligence, is definitely the most exciting for me, and I think the whole team at Polyhedra.
Nice. Thank you so much, Anthony, for sharing your viewpoint regarding, well, which project or which track, right, might be really booming in the bull market. And next, we would like to hear the viewpoint from Aspect, the dev relationship from Zero Base. Thank you.
All right. Well, the future, it's unknown, but I think the research space is actually going deeper into different applications of ZK and other like different combinations with different other applications. For example, in terms of programmable cryptography, not only snarks, but there's also like new FHE, new MPCs, and other encryptions, like with encryptions, computations are being available as well, and using ZK for that, for privacy or for scalability. Well, I'm not sure. Probably what I would say is like all the research has been still going on, but like the application wise, if whatever the market is about, the whole space goes around in that, I guess, because right now I can see it's more on the AI, and so ZK is also becoming more in the business and use case, real life application side. It's walking around on the AI side. So, well, whatever the future topic like tech is going to be, I think all other technology also going to be resolving around that. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you so much, Aspect. Yes, technology is something that very important. And next, we would like to hear from Jacob, lead product lead for Bundlelist at RiskZero. What type of project or track do you think might emerge during the bull cycle? Like a surprise and excite everyone in the ZK ecosystem. Thank you. Let me double check. Oh my goodness, I couldn't see Jacob right now. That's okay. We're going to bring this question to Chris Lucille at Zero Computing to hear from your views. Thank you.
Yeah, all the research is definitely continuing in ZK. We're seeing on the kind of the lower portions of the stack accelerations in new proving systems and parallelization over GPUs, and then even down at the kind of silicon level, dedicated FPGAs and even ASICs being made for ZK. And so I think all this points to a future where really anything becomes possible using verifiable compute. There will be very few limits and really no boundaries for where people will take this. So I think the future is very bright.
That is true, right? Future is so bright. And once again, thank you all so much for joining today's space event. And we appreciate you all coming to the new link and talk about ZK. Yeah, we really need to make ZK great again. Well, right now we are celebrating a lot of brand new milestones, right, in the crypto space. And once again, shout out to all of our speakers, and thanks so much to Amy, who organized this space event and connecting a lot of our speakers today. Thank you, Maggie Silla at Cypher Network, Anthony, head of engagement from Polyhedra, Asobek, dev relations from Zero Base, Jacob, product lead of Bundlelist, as Zero, as well Chris, our CEO at Zero Computing for Stronger Views. We talk about from ZK 101, right, and all the way to the milestone and upcoming events, as well as which project might emerge in this bull market. Thank you all for sharing your insights. We really appreciate you all for spending time with us, and we would like to have you again in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Moonlight.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. Have a great
Thanks,
day. Bye-bye.
Moonlight. Thank you to both speakers. That was awesome.